I liked 2016 makeup. These people romanticising 90s makeup. I was there. We didn't look very good. This FanFest, this is one of the best mascaras on the market. Full stop.
But Ellen, you are the underpainting queen.
Thank you. I do not apologise. I have blush blindness and I'm not sorry.
Ellen.
Hi.
Welcome to Friends with Benefit.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting.
I am so excited. We've been talking about this for so long, and I'm so excited to pick your brain about all things makeup and Benefit and everything that you love. Now, guys, Ellen has built an amazing beauty community. You are the TikTok queen, I would say.
Very kind.
And I'm really excited to get into all of that. But first, can you tell me a little bit about how you got into being a makeup artist, your background in artistry? And because I know you worked a little bit in theatre as well, so tell me all about that.
So originally I didn't actually want to be a makeup artist. So I grew up as a second generation opera singer. So my mother is an opera singer. She teaches singing now. She's retired from performing. And I grew up backstage doing hair and makeup on shows. And I always loved it. But I also always wanted to be on stage or in front of the camera because I've got a very strong sort of performing streak. So even though I loved makeup and I was always that person who was doing everybody's makeup.
Yeah.
Like, you have that friend that
always
it's Friday
doing
night
your
and she
hair,
goes, just come here. And she's like fixing your liquid liner and putting your lashes on for you and doing your hair.
A girl's girl. A true girl's girl.
Exactly. I was that girl. So even from really, really little. So I'll tell you a fun fact. When I was a very, very tiny little girl, maybe 3 or 4 years old, my mother was in a production at the Opera House and there was a lady backstage who was having trouble putting her eyelashes on because she couldn't have her glasses on at the same time and she couldn't see. She looked at me and she went, "You'd have good eyesight. Do you think you could help me put my lashes on?" And I went, "Yes." And I knew you had to let the glue dry because I'd watched my mum do her false eyelashes for stage. And so I helped her put the glue on. I said, "No, you have to wait." And I helped her put her eyelashes on and she looked at me and she said, "You're going to be a makeup artist."
Wow. At 4 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally would have been only 3 or 4 tiny little things. So for me, it was kind of written in the cards. But I always had this struggle that I wanted to be a makeup artist, but I really wanted to be on stage as well. And then so I ended up doing a lot of work for cosmetic companies where I would be like on the stage in the department store, like launching a product into the market. So that was how I started, was that
like
I was
a beauty host almost.
Yeah. So I was spraying perfume for a company called Galan, a very beautiful French company. And they had a makeup promotion on the same day while I was there spraying perfume. And I was desperate to do the makeup. And the counter manager looked at me and said, do you reckon you can do a face of makeup? And I said, yes. And she said, okay, because the makeup artist just called in sick. You're up. And so I was on the stage.
The panic.
Doing makeup for the crowd. That was day one.
And ever since then...
Yeah, the rest is history.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And now I need to go back to the opera singing part of you as well, because you said you have a really big performance background.
I do.
I saw a TikTok that you said that you sang opera for Hugh Jackman.
I did. That is true.
Sorry. Can you go back?
Like, whatever.
Just casually.
Like, what, you haven't? No, so...
I definitely haven't. Let's clear that up. I have not.
So in addition to my makeup work, I have an opera singing degree. I have 2 opera singing degrees, as it happens. And
what can't she do?
I have a hot art Excel. Seriously, do not get me to run your office administration. It will go badly.
Well, there you go.
It'll all crash into a burning pile. So I have sung in the Opera House. I've sung on television. I've sung on Channel 9. I've sung at St Mary's Cathedral. But the Hugh Jackman one was really interesting. So I sang for many, many years with my best friend who is now a publicist. She's now my publicist. Yeah, we worked together for many years performing and singing. And at one point we were like, oh, we should make this a business. And keep in mind, this is well before TikTok or any of that. So it wasn't so easy to kind of market something and go viral. So, we set up a website and we set up an Instagram and we made a name, Sopranos on Stage. You can still search it.
Oh, I love that.
And the plan was we were going to put on a concert and invite all of our family and friends to come along to the concert and hopefully, get booked for some stuff.
Yeah.
And we'd only gotten as far as setting up the website and the Instagram and telling our friends that that's what we were going to do. And we got a phone call from a woman who had seen us sing together 2 years earlier. It was a free gig, singing at St Andrews College, that we just sort of did for fun, saying, listen, are you guys still singing together? Because I've got this charity function and we need someone to come and perform, in a spot in the dinner, like a little 20-minute slot in the middle of the dinner.
Yeah.
And it turned out it was for Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness and all of their friends. Hi, James Packer, how you doing? Hi, Kate Blanchett. And that was our first gig.
Hang on, your first gig
That was
for
our
Hugh
first gig
Jackman.
as Sopranos on stage. Like when we started our business, that was our first gig.
Oh, so did you realize that all of those people were in the crowd once you were up on stage? Or when did you, like, when was the point when you were like, oh my gosh, this is who this gig is for?
We knew it was for Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Finesse for their charity called Adopt Change. But it was really, we turned up and at the start of the gig, they'd said we were welcome to come out and kind of schmooze. And we walked out and went, okay, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, oh my gosh. And there's a sea of famous people.
But I remember stepping on stage and just having this moment where I was glancing down and literally there was a table that had, you know, James Packer and Hugh Jackman and all of these people on it. And I almost felt like I was coming out of my body.
Yeah.
Like it was this weird out of body experience going, oh no, this is actually what's happening.
Yeah.
And I have an amazing acting coach friend that I had rung to go, what do I do? And she gave me this really amazing grounding exercise where you imagine that your legs are trees and that the roots go all the way to the center of the earth. 10,000 miles wide, 10,000 miles deep.
I love that idea.
And it's like grounding. And so as I was putting my feet down, I was just imagining those roots going from my feet all the way to the center of the earth. And I was
it just brings you back to the present,
in your body.
Yeah, present moment and really grounds you. I love that.
And I have to say, I do think to this day, it's possibly the best I've ever sung. And it was just such a special experience. Like we were out, you know, doing the little schmoozy mingle and Deborah Lee Finesse saw us in the crowd. She walked past Kate Blanchett and went back into Mo. And she came over and went, oh, you must be Ellen and Whitney. Hi, I'm Deb.
I think my soul would just evacuate from my body in that moment. Like, I don't know what I would do. What did you do?
I just was so impressed. Like, I could see that she had obviously tuned in that we would be nervous, of course, and was making such an effort to make sure that we felt welcomed and introduce us to a few people, all of that, so that we wouldn't just be standing there being terrified. And I thought, gosh, what an emotionally intelligent person to be in that room and go, I better make sure those girls are okay.
Yeah.
I was absolutely blown away.
Because you guys in that moment, like, you're the outsiders, like coming into their world, and that's very, you know, very nerve-wracking as well. And so I'm so glad that she.
But even in that room where she's got so many people that she's got to go and schmooze with, to go, let's just make sure they're okay.
Can you talk a little bit more about the type of artistry that you used to do? And because I know that you did a little bit of theatre stuff, but more like the makeup background that you had.
Sure. So the initial start for me was in like the retail side, working as an event artist, doing all that kind of work. But I've spent many, many years doing private clients, doing particularly red carpet work. Red carpet work and black tie work. So my artistry style has really come out of people who need to look amazing on camera in a situation where they cannot Photoshop or edit the photos because you don't get to edit those photos. The photographer takes it, publishes it, and it's out there for all the world to see. But they also need to look really beautiful in person. So that's really where my artistry style develops. So I've done a lot of work. I've done Fashion Week and I've done models and I've done supermodels and I've done all of those people. But I think where I've really enjoyed working the most for me is those private clients that they're like, okay, I need to look like a celebrity tonight. Can you make that happen?
Yeah.
You know, and this is somebody that maybe that's not what they normally do for a living and they need to be able to pull it out of the bag for that special event. So it's about looking amazing in person, but also looking amazing on camera with no filter.
And can I just say that is exactly the vibe of your makeup today, because not only did we check, we did a little like mic test and everything and camera test, and your makeup looked amazing on that, but in person, like, it's not too cakey. It's really, really beautiful. And you've got such a natural kind of base as well. So I just love it.
I think that people see my content and they assume that my makeup would look like cake in person because I do full structural underpainting. So underpainting really comes out of theatre. It comes out of theatre and film originally. And I learnt that first. So I learnt stage makeup before I learned, you know, quote unquote normal makeup. And I really then had to evolve that style into something that was going to be a little bit more wearable in person, but still looks amazing on stage.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at my content, a lot of people I think would assume, because I do full paint stick, I do full underpainting, there's full foundation over the top, you would think, oh my gosh, in person that's going to look so terrible.
It does not at all though. It looks like natural.
You can literally wear it out as streetwear and not look like a freak.
Yeah. No, I love that.
But I could walk a red carpet right now and it would photograph perfectly.
Oh, I need more of your tips and tricks. So speaking of beauty, now I've always wanted to say this.
Okay.
My makeup lesson didn't turn up, so I'm going to teach you what I would have taught her. Did I do okay?
You did.
When that comes up on my feed, it just makes me so happy. Like, that's your little hook.
Wild? That really came out of somebody who just didn't turn up one day. I was sitting there ready to teach a Zoom lesson. I have quick plug, I have Zoom lessons online, link in my bio. So I was sitting there waiting for my Zoom lesson, and I always get my clients to fill out a form ahead of time to tell me about themselves and what they're looking to learn, where their challenges are, that kind of stuff. And I was sitting there waiting, and she didn't turn up. And I thought, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to take her inquiry form and I'm going to make a video about it. I tried to get in touch with her and I couldn't get hold of her. I still haven't gotten hold of her. Hello, Eve, if you're out there, I'm trying to give you a free lesson to say thank you. So, yeah, it did start from somebody who didn't turn up. But what's now started to happen is people booking and paying for makeup lessons and then not turning up so that they can get a video.
Okay, I never would have predicted that would have come out of, your viral hook.
Yep.
But that's amazing.
And they're like, I would like a video about this thing. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. Well, here you go. A makeup video lesson instead that goes to all of your followers as well.
Yeah.
You first went super viral for your Through the Eras makeup hacks. I scrolled all the way to the
I was
to
going
the
to say,
start
you've
of
done your research. Like, that is back catalogue right there.
I have. Now, you did the 70s, the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Mm-hmm. If you had to predict the next 10 years of makeup trends and beauty hacks, what do you think we're going to see in the next 10 years?
So the big thing that I'm seeing is a movement to what I would call hyper natural makeup. So it's where we're perfecting, but it looks really real. So like as an example, the Precisely My Brow Pencil, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's so fine, you can make it look as though it is little tiny hair strokes on the skin. It doesn't actually look as though you've drawn your brows in. So it's a big movement away from like the 2016 mega brow. Although I liked 2016 makeup. I'm going to just put it out there. I liked that people...
Because it's more is more, right?
You know what? I think it stopped people being embarrassed about having fun with makeup and wearing makeup that is visible and not being apologetic about that. I'm such a believer in you should be able to celebrate and enjoy beauty to whatever extent it makes you feel good, it makes you feel like yourself, it makes you feel comfortable. And I actually quite like that about 2016 makeup. I feel like there's a certain freedom in that. But
is your controversial opinion bring back the 2016, the elements of 2016?
Elements of it, yes. I think it's going to be foundation that looks more and more and more undetectable, but with great coverage. You know, that we're going to... So the big shift that happened in the early 2000s is we started to see foundations that look more real. So Luminous Silk was probably the first of those to market. Shout out Pat McGrath, she's a genius. But so I think we're going to see more and more skin products that look like skin, even if they're full coverage, that they're going to look really real. We're going to see more and more makeup that is less detectable on camera. We've had such a shift in camera quality in the past 20 years that all of a sudden even HD is old technology now. We're now going up to 6K. I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not want to see my nose hairs. Why are we doing that? Like we were talking about this just before. We don't need that much sharpness. Bring back the blurry old film, okay? Let's
go black and white actually.
I really did look good in film. You know, good old large medium format. Let's do it. So I think because of the shift in the digital technology, we're going to see makeup that is more and more undetectable because people are going to get fussier about being able to see things on their skin, being able to see things in photos. So blush that looks like skin, foundation that looks like skin, lip tints that look real, like makeup that mimics an absolutely completely natural finish.
I love that, and I'm so excited for the next 10 years, and I'm also so excited for your video in 10 years' time, which will be looking through the eras again. Now, I know that we kind of spoke about underpainting.
Yes.
But Ellen, you are the underpainting queen.
Thank you.
What advice would you give to someone who wanted to try underpainting for the very first time? Because I think it can be very intimidating to start off with. And I love how accessible you make all of your beauty hacks, and especially for all your entire online community. But it is still an intimidating technique to try.
Absolutely.
What advice do you have for me?
Okay, so I'm going to give you, there's the beginner version and there's the pro version, and there's the pro version. They're two slightly different things. So if you're going to do the beginning version of underpainting, it goes like this. When you put the heaviest product on the skin first, viz your concealer, you are going to reduce how visible the texture is of your makeup. So if you put a heavier concealer, lighter foundation over, you're still going to get coverage, but your skin texture will look better. It will look younger. It will look smoother. It will look less cakey. So I always say that's your first baby step, is particularly if you're using heavier styles of concealers. So I'm not talking about your little light touch-up pens. I'm talking like a thick pot concealer.
Yes.
Because maybe you need the coverage. Maybe you want the coverage. Maybe you're a glam girly. Maybe you have pigmentation or a birthmark or
acne
something
scars
that you want to cover. You know, so for me, I had cystic acne when I was younger, and I do have some scarring from that, and I do also have rosacea. So, and like by the time I'm all made up, you wouldn't know, but there is,
No, I would
I'm
never
working
know.
with some things here,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I do just wake up perfect, obviously,
Obviously.
but you might want more coverage or you just might like a glam. But the big thing is that underpainting is for people who go, you know what, I want that glam, but I'm finding that if I put heavy concealer over my foundation, it's really cakey, it's really obvious, it's really accentuating texture, it's particularly under eye texture or anywhere where you have finer skin. Underpainting is for you if you want to say, I don't want to see that texture, but I still want the coverage. So your baby step is literally you just do your concealer under your foundation. If you want to do full underpainting, the real answer is you have to go much more dramatic in the color differences. So true underpainting, professional underpainting, is not just your normal concealer under foundation. I use almost a white underneath my foundation, literally
Yeah,
white
I've
on this.
seen it. And I'll put some overlays so that people can really visualize what
like
you do.
It's an extreme, like it's extreme. The darker color is a lot darker than I would ordinarily do for contour. So you're talking about, you're almost painting on like a negative, like an X-ray of where you want your bone structure to be. And it does mean it has to be really strong colors. It does mean it has to be a very definite outline. You're not blending it all in. Then you put the foundation very carefully and very lightly over the top. So when you're doing it correctly, it should terrify you.
Yes. Well, it does.
Yes.
So
you should be there going, this is a bad idea. I'm sure I'm supposed to blend more than this.
So I want to talk about trends because you are the TikTok queen as well. We have had blush blindness. We have had strawberry makeup, latte makeup, Coca-Cola lips, etc., etc., etc. What is one makeup trend that, has evolved from TikTok that you want to stay around forever?
Blush blindness. I love it. I love it. Like, I came up in the 90s where everyone was terrified of blush. We looked bad. All these people romanticizing 90s makeup. I was there. We didn't look very good. It's a miracle anybody got together with anyone. Our eyebrows were overplucked. Don't do that. And we didn't wear blush, and our foundation was really pale and really powdery and cakey. And we all wore this dark brown, reddy brownie lipstick with really pale foundation, and we looked unwell. It was like vampire chic, but not in a good way. And
Vampire chic. I'm stealing that. Too good.
it was bad. But the big shift that's happened in the last few years, I would say aesthetically, which I love, is embracing this beautiful glowing skin, embracing beautiful blush. I love blush. I think it makes you look younger. I think it makes you look well. I think it makes you look fresh, and I just think there isn't a person on the face of the planet who doesn't look better with the right blush.
Yep.
Yep.
I agree.
I do not apologize. I have blush blindness and I'm not sorry.
What was the first Benefit product that you ever fell in love with?
High beam.
High
Liquid
beam.
highlighter. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're
I
a high
love a
beam
liquid
girl.
highlighter. I love it. Collarbone, between the nose, just quietly. So these are my favorite highlighting spots. Between the nose, above the brow, just here above the temple. I love her. Just a little bit there. Cupid's bow, collarbones. Stun.
So have you tried our Julala, which is, no, you came to the,
Yes,
the
I have.
Sydney.
I have. Stun, but I still love my high beam. I love her. She's my favorite.
Okay, fair.
I love Julala for my kit because it's got a wider shade range.
Yes.
And different skin tones. I like to work with different things. I will say this though, interestingly enough, a pearly white highlighter, as long as it's not silver pearl, you can use on deep skin tones and it looks like skin. It's beautiful. It just looks like the light is catching the skin.
So
You'd be
for
surprised.
our high beam, is that what you're saying? On a variety of skin tones?
Yes. Even though you'd look at it in the bottle and think, oh my gosh, you can't use that on a deep skin tone, you actually can.
Now, let's talk about some of your other favourite Benefit products.
Yes.
You are a FanFest lover.
I am. I think this is one of the best mascaras on the market, full stop, from any brand ever. Let me tell you.
Say that again. Say that again.
This FanFest, I'm looking at you. This FanFest, this is one of the best mascaras on the market, full stop, from anyone ever. And if you haven't tried this, what are you even doing, girl? So this is the deal. This is for people who have issues with mascara smudging, but you don't want to wear a waterproof. And for people who need a really good curl that your lashes tend to flopulate. This is unbelievable. It really holds a curl. You can really fan the lashes right out, as the name suggests. Fantastic brush. Like, let me show you the brush. See this beautiful curved brush?
So that's a 40-degree custom curve in the wand, and then it has a full fanning formula as well.
Because I find that you can really get right into those little teeny tiny lashes, like in close to the tear duct, and really get them fanned out and lifted, and it just makes your eyes look enormous. So I filmed a video with this, and I had so many people going, have you got false lashes on? I did not have false lashes on. I did not. I'm happy to do
They
your
were
live
coming
video.
to Ellen with pitchforks being like, you're lying to us, you've got
Yeah.
false lashes on. And no, it was
I
just
genuinely didn't. I find that some mascara formulas do transfer and smudge onto my lids. This is one of the few that I can wear without a lash primer. Most
Love that.
mascaras, I need to put a lash primer underneath them to stop them smudging. This one, I can just wear it as is. Doesn't smudge, doesn't bleed, but then I don't need to get it off at the end of the day.
Yes.
Because I don't love waterproof mascara. I find it too annoying to remove.
I get that. No, I totally
I'd
get that.
fine for weddings, fine for certain specific things, and if you love it, you should keep on wearing it, but me personally, I don't enjoy a waterproof mascara for preference. This gives me the grip of a waterproof, but I can actually physically get it off.
Oh my God, I love that. And I love
Such a
that
great
you're
formula.
so obsessed with that. Any other of our kind of most wanted products that you are obsessed with? Like,
Cookie
is it
highlighter. I am
That's
a highlighter
really
girly.
viral at the moment?
Yeah,
oh my
it's
gosh.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so soft. It's so pigmented. You only need like the tiniest little bit, like move over champagne pop. Like those of you who are still grieving Becca, may she rest in peace. Go and get yourself a cookie highlighter. You're going to be okay. So finely milled the texture because I don't normally like powder highlighters. I'm normally a liquid highlighter girl.
With your
hence
high beam. Yeah.
Because I feel like the liquids can be more flattering to skin texture and I'm so particular about texture. But I do find that cookie is really, it's surprisingly flattering. Even for me, and I've got a little bit of a crinkle and a little bit of a pore. And,
You do not. You do not. I can't see anything here.
God bless you. I'll pay you later. But I do like, and so I'm so particular about what textures I put on my skin so that I'm not accentuating texture somewhere that I don't want it to be. But I find just a little tiny whisper of cookie highlighter.
It's
oh my
so
gosh,
good.
evening lighting, magical. Can I tell you a highlighter hack?
Yes, give it to me.
I learnt this from Rosemary Swift. Hi, shout out. She's amazing. Highlight your knuckles.
Highlight your knuckles.
Moisturiser so that your hands don't look crusty. Highlight your fingers and your knuckles. And then when you're having a bevy in the evening, your hands look really pretty and they look younger.
Oh, it's very whimsical. I love that.
Yeah.
Especially
and
for an
shows
event
off
night
your
out.
rings. If you've got little rings on, you've got jewellery on. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to do that.
Seriously, highlight your knuckles. Powder's going to stick a little bit better because obviously you wash your hands and all that. So a bit of powder and setting spray. But yeah, I actually highlight my knuckles because sometimes you go out and people photograph you like with a drink in your hand like that. And your hands will look younger.
What a great hack. I love that so much. Oh,
yeah, hand contouring. 2025, you heard it here.
Hand contouring. I love
contouring.
that. Well, underpaint the hands. I'll start underpainting.
You can. You literally can. And you can make them look older or younger or whatever, depending on what you do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I do body makeup, like for my clients and for myself if I'm being photographed. I do full body makeup. I do the hands. I do décolleté. I do anything that's visible.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to get you in before our next event. Now, there is one more product I want to talk to you about because we have just launched it, which is our Mighty Fine brow pen.
Yes, this is cool. Actually, I have had a little bit of a play with this. So let me talk about who I would use this for.
Yeah.
So this, if you haven't seen it, it's a little like brow pen, but it's actually got 3 prongs.
Yeah, so this is the first triple tip brow pen on the market and the finest tipped pen on the market as well. And this is 0.1 millimeter tips. So I'll show a close up as well. And the only 2 things that you've got to do with this is shake before you apply and then apply.
I was naughty, I didn't shake.
That's okay.
But I'll show you something. So I unboxed this on my stories the other day and I had so many DMs about it because you can draw literally an eyebrow that looks real and it takes 2 seconds. So this is for you. If you've got big gaps in your brows, maybe you overplucked them when you were younger, maybe you just didn't get a lot of eyebrow and with age they've gotten less, maybe you've had a scar or, whatever the situation is. And some people also just have really thin brows naturally. It's not it's not their fault. They just literally have much more sparse brows. You can literally create an eyebrow out of nowhere with this. So I'll show you where I like to use it on me. Now this is real muscle memory. Let's see.
I'm scared to watch. Oh my gosh.
I'm brave. It'll be fine. I just like to feel about yay.
Yep, she got it.
My front of my brow, I have a little gap here where the hairs don't grow the way that they did. How's that for muscle memory?
Very successful 2024. Tell me what is coming up. Travel, life plans, launches, campaigns. Hit
All right.
me.
Well, the bit that I can tell you, and you're the first to hear it here, is that I now have a YouTube channel. Long form content coming, new series coming, totally different content to anything that I've done before, which I'm very excited about. So, I've just spent the last week with my boyfriend, like rigging cameras and all sorts of things. So, yes, watch this space. Watch this space. There's Ask Ellen Beauty everywhere on social media. But, watch this space for my YouTube channel because it's time to shake it up.
Can you give me a little sneak peek into this series? What's going on here?
Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the inspiration behind it. So I worked for many, many years as a makeup artist in the retail context and then took on a lot of private clients. And the thing that's happened over and over again is that I'll do makeup on someone and I have an ability in that context where people will tell me anything. Once I get my hands on it, they'll tell me anything. And there've been so many times I've been doing makeup for someone who's a really inspirational person, thinking, I really wish we'd videoed this conversation because this is so interesting and I think a lot of people would really get a lot of value out of that. It's such a different way of talking to someone and it's such a different way of really learning about someone's life. Like, I believe that we have so much to give in terms of women's voices, particularly, and talking about how do you juggle being, you know, a high-powered woman with everything else that happens in life and everything else that you're trying to do. And that's really the inspiration behind my series, is to go, okay, let's actually use this as a way of amplifying the next generation of women.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And unfiltered kind of those really, really raw chats. I love that. I love that idea for the series. So I'm very, very excited. You'll definitely have to check out Ask Ellen Beauty on YouTube once your YouTube channel launches. I will link everything below as well.
You can subscribe now.
You can subscribe. So
watch this space for the first drop.
Yep, there you go.
There's some other content. There's a full underpainting on there uncut, by the way. For those of you like, why do you cut it? Why do you cut it? I want to see the blending. There's a full one on there already.
It's there. It's live. It's ready to go. Is there anything else you got coming up or want to chat about? Or
I just want to ask the audience, if I was to launch a product, what would you want to see from me? Hypothetically, allegedly, you know, there might be something, but we can't say anything else. Yeah. Like, just, you know, just putting ideas out there.
Well, Ellen, thank you so much for coming and sitting on the pink couch with me. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on Friends with Benefit. Guys, make sure you follow Ellen, Ask Ellen Beauty on TikTok and Instagram. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment not only what you want to see from Ellen, but anything else you want to see from us. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.